Ladies and gentlemen, what is up, and welcome to today's video. We're going to be talking about a question that's been bubbling over in the community for the last few days, all kind of triggered by last week's announcement about the changes coming to the 5-star crystals. So if you don't already know, the basic rundown is at the end of this month in the 10k pool, where there are currently 24 champions. There are going to be 12 more added, so it goes up to 36 champions available, and then every month there are going to be 6 new characters added until kind of they've caught up with the champions currently available in the 4-star and premium hero crystals at the moment, and then they're going to add champions basically the same schedule into the 5-star crystals as they do into the 4-star and premium ones. So basically a new character about 2.5 months after its release is going to join the 10k pool, which massively changes the landscape of 5-star champions. So this kind of starts the signal of the change that a lot of people have been we knew it was coming, the change from the focus on 4-star champions to the focus now on mainly 5-star champions. However, it's something that we expect to see in kind of the next 6 to 12 months as 5-star shards becoming increasingly more available in comparison even to this time last year. Like 4-star shards and 5-star shards, they are already so much more available. So in kind of 6 to 12 months time, I would imagine the availability of 5-star shards would have at least doubled. And you're going to be able to get much better characters potentially from the 10k crystals. So this potentially shifts the focus of the game to 4-star and from 4-star to 5-star characters. However, there are still a lot of additions that need to be made, like tier 2 alphas, I assume, are going to become a little bit more common. They are extremely rare at the moment. You can only really get them from like Act 4 and Labyrinth of Legends, and a few drips and drabs here from Map 6, but I imagine this is kind of the start of a shift toward 5-star characters, which has been very gradual so far, but I imagine this is going to be coming. So this is basically why we're asking this question, so it's something to keep in mind. While it isn't going to become immediate, it's not going to become a thing within the next 6 to 12 months that your 4-star characters are going to be useless. It may be better for somebody who wants to achieve the maximum optimal progression for their roster to kind of keep a lot of this stuff in mind, kind of when upgrading certain champions and moving forward. However, you should still definitely rank up 4-star characters in, I'd say, 5 scenarios. And I've kind of, mapped out these 5 scenarios to kind of give you guys some guidelines on thinking about, whether or not you want to upgrade a 4-star character or not. So I think let's cover all the bullet points here. So the first one is if, ranking up a 4-star character is going to provide you a solid function or use to get you through a piece of endgame content that you're struggling on, e.g. the Road to the Labyrinth of Legends, Act 5 Realm of Legends. If you are a newer or progressing player, you're still going to need to take those characters up to rank 4 or maybe rank 5 to get through the content, to get the additional rewards, to kind of grow your roster so that you can farm more rewards. So it's still a good idea to upgrade characters, if they're going to provide you a good use in getting through some of the challenging endgame content. The next 2 bullet points is if they'll make a good use in your Alliance Quest team, and also if they'll make a good use in your Alliance War offense team. Now, I haven't really noted down defense here, because I think in terms of the current state of Alliance War and the amount of rewards it offers, like even at tier 1, so winning an Alliance War gives you about like 750 5-star shards and about 400 4-star shards, right? And the Alliance Quest Victory crystal, it sucks. But in the current state of Arena as well, you can grind like an insane amount of shards. Like, if you're going for a low featured champion, getting in like 4 million points, that is pretty much like a guaranteed fully formed 4-star champion. You get that character, but you also get 800 5-star shards as well. And the amount of effort it takes to build up a full Alliance War defense team, it just seems like Alliance War, the rewards need to be updated in my opinion. And I've always been of this stance, if you do have a limited amount of resources to invest in your characters, always focus on offense and getting stuff cleared and having the roster to progress through all these challenges and pieces of content that come up, and do not initially focus on your defense. And I think, especially with the shift moving towards 5 stars, you shouldn't really focus on spending a lot of resources on upgrading kind of 4-star defenders. Like in some circumstances, and if your alliance needs it, then it's a good idea, but you want to try and tie it in with something else. else, maybe prestige, which kind of factors into one of the last 2 points. So the next point, actually I'll talk about the last point before I talk about the next one. So the next one is if your alliance is making a big push for prestige to increase your alliance quest rewards and you need to up your prestige, so for example taking up a character like Phoenix or maybe Mordo, who might tie into Alliance War Defense, maybe not a character that has a great offensive use and is going to help you a lot. But if your alliance is kind of trying to push for a higher bracket, maybe trying to push for the fully formed tier 4 class catalyst, so that every week you're going to be raking in more and more upgrade rewards, and in the kind of longer run of the game, you're going to have more resources overall by investing in those characters to upgrade, then maybe it's a pretty good idea to do that. But if your alliance, doesn't really have any big plans, or they're not very motivated to make a huge push for prestige, maybe you want to be a bit conservative of your resources there. And the final one is, which is actually bullet point number 4, so is if a character has some sort of insane utility you need, or they won't be available as a 5-star, because not all characters as 4-stars, as we talked about a little bit earlier, are going to be available as 5-stars. Now those are mainly the basic, some of the basic and really older champions, and I'm really happy about a lot of these characters not being available as a 5-star, because while some of them, I'm really sad about a couple of them not being available as a 5-star, but a few of them are kind of very like mediocre characters that aren't necessarily the best at the moment, and it's good to keep a lot of those out of the pool, I reckon. So, just to give you like an overview of all the characters that aren't coming as a 5-star to kind of keep in mind. So first up we have Abomination. So Abomination is only really good as a defender when he's awakened. So I'm pretty kind of glad he's not coming as a 5-star. Nobody really wants to pull a 5-star Abomination. So you have Black Bolt as well. Black Bolt is one of those characters who he isn't terrible, but there are much better characters. So you don't really ever want to upgrade a Black Bolt. I'm pretty happy he's not coming as a 5-star. Black Widow, I think in the current state of the game, not many people are really enjoying Black Widow. She's one of those champions that is now very gimped against mutant defenders, and a popular Alliance War Defender at the moment is Iceman and Cable. They're getting thrown around quite a bit on some defensive nodes. And I think Elektra, overall, Elektra and Crossbones, they're slightly better attackers. So I greatly prefer Elektra over Black Widow, so I'm very excited to see her not coming as a 5-star. Also, to be effective, Black Widow does need a lot of awaken levels, and getting up to dupe level 199 on a 5-star, is very challenging, very pressing. So I'm very excited to see Black Widow not coming as a 5-star, so I'm pretty damn happy about that. Captain America World War II, I think he's still a really good 4-star to upgrade. I've kind of bolded all the 4-stars that I think, are worth taking past that 440 rank. I still feel like Captain America, he's the slightly better of the 2 Captain Americas, but again, with the nerf to willpower, there isn't too much difference in them, but I think he's still worth upgrading as a 4-star. A little bit bummed to not see him as a 5-star, if I'm honest. Daredevil Netflix, again, a very mediocre character, not too bummed about not seeing him as a 5-star. Doctor Strange, very mediocre at the moment, although he wouldn't make a bad 5-star, because like the good thing about Doctor Strange is he doesn't really need to be awakened, but, well, there's no really point in taking Doctor Strange past 330, in my opinion, at the moment. So he's not bolded. I'd stick him down there. Then you have Electro. I'm kind of glad we're not having a 5-star Electro. That's pretty good. Electro as a defender, he's still a good character. He kind of guarantees some of that damage, but one of the things that I like is that Electro as a character is not necessarily super fun, super interactive, because any character that doesn't have the ability to bypass his electrostatic shock is just going to take some damage. So I'm pretty happy to see him not as a 5-star coming there. Then we have Joe Fixit and Magneto Marvel now, both trash champions. Very happy to not see them coming to the 5-star crystal. You have Miss Marvel, who's a slightly better version of Captain Marvel, who's available as a 5-star. In a way, I guess I'm a little bit gutted not seeing her as a 5-star, but simultaneously they're a better cosmic champion. She's pretty much the same character as Captain Marvel. So yeah, I think it's probably a good idea that she stays out of the 5-star crystals there. You have Scarlet Witch, who I think I'm pretty happy that Scarlet Witch isn't a 5-star, because again, the similar thing with Black Widow, that to be super effective, she'd need like a lot of Awakened, a lot of dupe levels, and with the kind of like signature level being spread out over 199, then it's pretty good that Scarlet Witch isn't a 5-star, but I still feel like she has some very solid uses as a 4-star. She's one of the most powerful and predominant nullifiers in the game. She's just a bit of a lottery now with her procs, not quite as reliable as she was before. I think overall Dr. Voodoo is a little bit better, but Scarlet Witch, you know, she still definitely has her uses in the game, and if you're a newer player and Scarlet Witch is one of your first like 4-star awakened characters, she's going to take you very, very far in this game. Then next up you have Thor, who again he's a good character, but Hyperion is a much better character, and arguably Drax is also pretty good, and both of those are going to be available in the 10k crystal very soon, so I don't really think you need a 5-star Thor there. And also Thor does need to be awakened to be super good, whereas if you get a Drax or Hyperion as a 5-star, they do not need to be awakened. So I wouldn't really, in any circumstance, as a 4-star upgrade 4. And then finally you have the Vision. Pretty gutted to not see this guy as a 5-star, actually. He's some great power drain, bleed and poison immunity, a heal block. He's overall a very, very good character. I know that a lot of people as a 4-star that have him at rank 5. I think he's a very, very useful character. I personally don't have him upgraded because I don't really feel like I need him with Dr. Voodoo and his power control mechanics. But I still think potentially he makes for a good rank 5 option as a 4-star. Then you have War Machine, complete trash. Very happy to not see this character in the 5-star crystals. And then finally we have Wolverine, who I'm a little bit gutted to not see, you know, him added into the 5-star basic, because Wolverine is just an absolute regeneration beast, but to kind of surpass X-23, he does need to be awakened, and as a 5-star, especially in a growing pool, that's going to be a little bit difficult to get. However, Wolverine X-23 is being added to the 5-star crystals, I believe in, I think it's August or September. Yeah, it's August. So yeah, Wolverine X-23, if you get her as a 5-star, I think she's going to be one of the best characters by far. She's going to be so incredibly good. That regeneration, especially scaling on like a rank 4 character, is going to be a lot. That damage is going to be crazy. She's pretty much going to be like a Gwenpool with slightly less damage and a bit of regeneration. So I'm very, very happy to see her being added as a 5-star. But yeah, that's kind of my basic guidelines for should you rank up a 4-star at the moment. Let me know in the comments, ladies and gentlemen, do you agree with these guidelines? Are there any other circumstances in which you take a 4-star currently up? Again, I'm just preparing for the future myself and kind of playing very conservative with my resources, because, you know, when 5-stars do become a bit more of a thing and the upgraded resources do become, like the tier 2 alphas, become a little bit more available, I want to make sure I've got a solid stash to upgrade all of my characters. So yeah, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, feel free to smash that like button. That'd be greatly appreciated. Apart from that, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.